Hello, welcome to the first sort of episodic episode of Camera Talk, where I'm going to be reviewing shows. Today it's Gotham, Season 2, Episode 1. Just a little format, obviously you can tell from the usual sort of get-up, things are a little bit different. This show's just going to be a little bit more casual, just my views on the episodes, just what I thought of it, a little bit of an insight into sort of Easter eggs and things like that. It's probably going to be less heavily edited as my other videos. Can't promise anything particularly though, because I mess up quite a lot, so there still will be editing involved, still will be cuts, but it's probably going to be a way of me to just give my thoughts. I've got my laptop here, just going to be reading some things, got some little headlines that I'm going to be looking down at, just to basically just giving an insight on what I thought of the episode. So also, because I'm going to be reviewing the episode, there are going to be quite a lot of spoilers in this. So yeah, this is my review for Gotham Season 2, Episode 1. Right, so yeah, the first thing I'm going to talk about is the tone. Obviously I talked about the tone quite a lot in my review of Season 1, in the fact that it fluctuated between serious and comedic. I wasn't too fond of that, and the way this season started out, I mean, it had quite a dark feel to it. Of course, you had sort of Jim Gordon getting ready in his sort of traffic uniform. You know, it was degrading that he dropped from being a detective and now he's just a traffic warden. It showed a quick shot of Bullock. He's now a barman. Obviously, he was a detective as well. He's been degraded as well, brought down. Then the next shot, very extreme. Zaz just shoots someone in the head. I thought, wow, we might be finally getting a dark, gritty view. We might finally be getting a dark show. You know, this is what I really wanted. Maybe they've settled down, maybe they've gone, right, this is going to be a dark show. And then what's the thing which happens next? Jim Gordon gets into a fist fight with a man named Zardos. It seemed silly to me, this scene. This bloke called Zardos rolls up and he's got 2 guns and 2 knives attached to him. He's causing havoc, he's taking hostages, and Gordon says, I'm not going to shoot you because it's a lot of paperwork. Really, Gordon? Really? You're not going to shoot a man who's armed with 2 guns and 2 swords because of paperwork? Obviously, the reason why he doesn't shoot him is because there's a payoff later in the episode, because this character Zardos is shown drinking this sort of blue liquid, which I had a feeling was going to be an explosive sort of liquid, if that's what you can call it, from the start, but I knew that obviously they wouldn't have put that shot in if it wasn't to pay off later in the episode. The tone is very similar, but again, later on you have things like Zaz is holding a decapitated head. You know, you have just things like this where it just goes from silly to very serious and very dark and very graphic in its portrayal of things, and I just don't think it still hasn't established the tone properly. Not how I wanted it to. Whether it's going to later on in the series, I don't know. But hopefully, I mean, don't get me wrong, I do like some elements of comedy in there. I think it's necessary to break up tension by adding comedic moments, but I just don't think that this way is the right way. I think you can have a few of them, but this show flips back and forth between them too heavily. Yeah, so we got to see more of the Riddler in this, and we didn't see much of him. We only saw a little bit, but the bit we did see, I really did enjoy. It shows now he's got this sort of split personality to him. So he's chatting to himself in the mirror, but you know, the version which he's talking back to himself in the mirror, I mean, it's more normal, which I kind of like. So, you know, you've got the really weird sort of eccentric Riddler, which is the actual Riddler, but the version that's talking back to him in the mirror, sort of the voice in his head, is really quite normal, quite dark, but you know, I think we didn't really get to see much of a scope of how evil he is yet. But I imagine later on as the season progresses, we're going to sort of see that voice in his head, or that mirror sort of segment. I imagine that voice is going to be telling him to do the crazy things. That's the thing which is sort of going to be motivating this Edward Nygma sort of weird eccentric character to do crimes. So I think I really did enjoy the split personality thing. I think it works well for the character and where they're going to go with the character. So yeah, that's something I really enjoyed. Barbara Keane is now in Arkham, and it looks like they've just completely sort of sacked off this Barbara Keane, James Gordon love affair, because I'm pretty sure they're setting up Barbara Keane to become Harley Quinn. Because at the moment, if that's what they're doing, it's really obvious. I mean, she looks like she could be Harley Quinn. She's got sort of crazy hair now, she's got sort of crazy style to her, and obviously she's talking to the Joker quite heavily, so you know what that means. That means that they probably are setting her up to be Harley Quinn, but I'm all for changing people's backstories and versions of them. You know, I think if it works with the show, then that's what you should do. We saw more of Penguin. He had a meeting in his boardroom, and I like the new sort of shifting dynamic of Penguin. I mean, we've really got this crime lord. It shows him off very well. Zazzy's now sort of his second-hand man. I like how dark they are. They, of course, interrogate Loeb later on in the episode. I really enjoyed that. He quite emphasises the word anarchy. And anarchy is a character in the DC universe. You would know that if you played the game Arkham Origins. He features in a storyline in that. But as far as I'm aware, I think they are actually introducing the character of Anarchy into the show. So that's a little Easter egg that they're probably intending to bring him into the show. It was also weird seeing Penguin having Cat in the meeting. I mean, this obviously I talked about Fish Mooney and just her being in season 1 because I felt that they needed to put her in season 1. With this particular episode, I'm not sure how the season outline goes for her, but I felt very much the same for Kat. She was just there because she needed to be in the episode. You got to look at this realistically. I know this is, you know, a fictional show, you know, very far-fetched, but would crime lords really be hanging out with a 15-year-old girl and sort of treating her as their equal? No, they wouldn't. So it just took me out a little bit, and I was thinking, she's in this show because it's Catwoman and she needs to be in this show. So I really do hope they've got something planned for Cat throughout this series, because it would be wasted. It would be a wasted of a good character if they don't. Gordon goes to visit Bullock in his bar, and you know, I like seeing their relationship now. It's sort of a shift though. You know, where Gordon was really straight cop, really serious. He's now become a little bit more of a rebel, realising he needs to get his hands dirty a lot more. And Bullock, you know, whereas he used to be the one who getting his hands dirty, he seems to have calmed down a little bit. I think he said in this episode he was like 30 days sober or something. So you know, maybe they're shifting that character dynamic. I really like Donald Logue as an actor though. I think he's a really good actor, which was unfortunate why we didn't get to see him that much in this episode. There was quite a Gordon Bruce thing going on in this episode, in the fact that it showed parallels between their characters, which I really did enjoy. Gordon goes to visit Bruce, and Bruce sort of tells Gordon that, you know, he needs to get dirty, he needs to play by, you know, he needs to break the rules to get things done. Obviously that's the Batman mentality shining through from a young age for Bruce, but I did enjoy seeing it. And then obviously at the end of the episode, you sort of get parallels between these two. They show them just sort of side by side in scenes which show that they are similar characters, and I did enjoy that because obviously James Gordon is the main protagonist, but it is sort of still a Batman show. Batman fans are watching this primarily, I'd imagine. So, you know, it's nice to see that there are similarities between the characters, that by rooting for James Gordon, you are sort of rooting for Batman. James Frain, if you've not heard of him before, he's a very good actor. I'm aware of him from his works in The Tudors. And he looks like he's going to be the main bad guy in this season. He plays someone called Theo Galavan. We know how much I loved it last time when they made up an original character for a big actor. But hopefully this one pays off a little bit more. I've liked his take so far. He's not in this episode very much, but from what he is, I think he plays his character very well, Theo Galavan. It looks like he's sort of putting together a Suicide Squad-esque team at the end there. So it's going to be nice to see sort of him controlling them. Maybe that's sort of like a male version of Amanda Waller. Bruce finally gets into the Batcave, and inside there is a letter from his dad, just sort of telling him that he loves him and that, He's a great man. He's going to grow up to be a great man. And Philip says, I hope you live a nice, gentle life. But, you know, if you feel the need, like you need to act upon injustice, then you go for it. You do that. And I think it was really good. That sort of settled the Batman. If you've seen Flashpoint Paradox, you'll also see that that Batman sort of gets a letter from his dad. But I really did enjoy this. I enjoyed the entire Bruce arc in this episode. I thought it was really good. All in all, I'd say the episode was okay. I'd say it was a little bit more developed, more fine-tuned than last season. But you know what they say about polishing a turd. Not that I'm calling Gotham a turd. It's just that it feels a lot like the same we got in season 1. Just a little bit more polished, just a little bit more developed. But the same problems, they're still lurking there underneath the surface. So I just hope that they sort of keep going, really, as they're doing now. Just sort of develop it just a little bit more and a little bit more and a little bit more. And you know, I really think that this show has all the elements to be a great TV show. You know, that's why I'm a little bit more harsh on it, because I think it has the ability to do great things. It has the ability to be a really good TV show. It's just not capitalising on that yet. I'd love to see it capitalise on this. But yeah, I think it has the ability to be a really good TV show. And I did enjoy this episode. So anyway, yeah, that's been my review of Gotham Season 2 Episode 1. I hope you've enjoyed it. If you have, feel free to like, comment and subscribe. Also, if you've got Twitter, follow me at Cam's Camera Talk. There's a link in the description below. Thank you for watching, and I will see you later. I'm a pretty huge nerd too, in particular for Batman. Again, in case you haven't noticed.